I'm sure it's not him, Berg said. Do you mind if I go now? Nathan then went down to sit in his large office chair. He looked outside and could see the sky was now completely black, with only the moonlight being out. After letting out a big sigh, he leaned back and put his legs on the desk. Let's call it a day. It looks like I've wasted everyone's time here for no reason, Nathan said. You're all free to go home, and remember to get a good rest. Quinn was unsure what had just happened. Perhaps Berg really did see someone else running through those halls and it wasn't him, but whatever the case, they were now free to go. Quinn and Vorden looked at each other and walked quickly out of the room. They had the urge to run, but they tried to walk in a slow and normal way. Otherwise, the others would notice that something was up. Before leaving, Vorden turned and said, Thank you, Berg, I owe you one. Just remember this for the future, Berg replied. Outside, Peter was walking through the forest. He was no longer limping as his legs were now completely healed. However, the pain in his stomach still hadn't disappeared. It was a strange feeling. Peter's mind was all there. It was him and he could control his body, but all he could think about was eating raw human flesh. He kept thinking about how delicious Earl had tasted. Not wanting to hurt any of his friends, he tried to go as far away from school as possible, and before he released, it had ended up in the dark forest once again. Am I going to die if I don't find anything? Anyone? He slowly made his way through the woods until eventually he had reached a pathway. The pathway went around the outskirts of the woods and park until it eventually had an entrance and an exit. One leading to the city and the other leading back to the direction of the school. But it was late at night, and not many people would be walking through the park to head to the center of the city, as all the shops would be closed by now. The only thing that was still open was convenience shops that were stationed just a little bit before the park. Should I head to the convenience store? Maybe I can find someone and follow them back, pull them into the woods, Peter was saying to himself. Just as Peter was thinking of going through with his suggestion, he spotted someone walking down the path. His body wanted to lunge out at the person, but Peter tried to fight against it, staying in the woods. Suddenly, the person stopped and stood still. I can feel your bloodlust from here, the boy said. Come out, you ghoul, and tell me where the hell your master is. The boy's eyes glowed red in the dark as he stared right into Peter's eyes. Quinn and Vorden headed back to their dorm room, making sure not to walk too fast. They didn't want another situation where a student would see them running through the halls, which would draw attention and make them look suspicious. But as they walked through the halls, several thoughts were running through both of their minds. Quinn could no longer feel the connection between himself and Peter, while Vorden was kicking himself for not making sure that Peter and Layla were okay. He just never thought Peter would get hungry so quickly. He only ate Earl yesterday. They had finally arrived just outside the room, and when they opened the door, the first thing they saw was the broken window and glass shards all over the floor. Huh? Where's Layla? Quinn asked. You don't think Peter already ate her, do you? But if that was the case, Quinn would have gotten a message from the system, and also there was no blood to be seen in the room. That's when they heard a small little sobbing sound coming from one of the corners. As they turned their heads to see where the sound was coming from, they could see Layla curled up into a ball, sobbing in the corner. Oh, Quinn said with a sigh of relief, you're still alive. Layla looked up and noticed the two had arrived back together. Where were you guys? Layla said with an angry tone. I can't believe you left me on my own. You know I'm not strong enough to deal with something like this. It was clear Layla had been given quite a shock. Quinn did his best to calm her down. He looked at her sobbing away and didn't know what to do in this type of situation. He had never encountered a girl crying before. Then a memory came into his head, one that he had almost forgotten. When he was only 3 years old, Quinn had gotten lost from his mother in the supermarket. The place seemed to be a whole different world to him at the time. He felt alone and frightened when his mom finally found him. She had given him a big hug that made all the bad feelings go away. Just then, Quinn wrapped his hands around Layla tightly. It's okay, don't worry, Layla. I'm sorry about all of this. It's all my fault. I should have known better, Quinn said. Although Layla was frightened, she hadn't expected Quinn to do something like this. The hug felt nice and warm and reminded her of her family. But what made everything even better was the look on Vorden's face. For some reason, when Vorden saw this, he had a look of worry on his face. Layla thought that perhaps it was jealousy because she was getting closer to Quinn, but actually, Vorden was worried about Syl. Luckily, Syl was quietly sleeping inside the dark room and didn't get to see this scene. The hug went on for a while, to the point where it seemed to be getting awkward for Layla. This was because Quinn was unsure about the appropriate amount of time to hug someone. "Quinn, I'm okay now, you can let go," Layla said, as she made sure to wipe away the remaining tears from her face. "Layla, you need to tell us what happened. Where's Peter?" Vorden asked. Layla recalled the events of what happened while the two of them were away, saying that it hadn't happened that long ago and that just around 15 minutes had passed. This coincided with Quinn feeling the loss of connection with Peter. "If he's outside, I have to go find him before we have another Earl situation on our hands," Quinn said. "This is bad," Vorden said, "especially since they already suspect us. We can't deal with a situation like this right now." Quinn then started to get ready to leave the room. "You two stay here. Worst case scenario, I have to use my shadow skill to hide. Besides, even if someone saw me, they won't know who I am." "Wait!" Vorden shouted. "I'm coming with you. If Peter is like Layla says he is, then you're going to need me. We're just going to have to go through with Plan B." Quinn didn't like it. He didn't like it one bit. Whatever happened, he didn't want to go through with Plan B no matter what. But right now, what choice did they have? "All right, come on, let's go," Quinn said. "Layla, it might be best if you head back to your room. Also, if you can prepare some blood for me, I might need it when I come back." Layla nodded as the two of them went off downstairs. "Quinn, sometimes I think you're too nice for this world," Layla thought. After clearing away the broken pieces of glass, Layla decided to head towards her dorm room. She knocked a few times before entering, pondering if Aaron was already back or not. There was no answer, and when she entered the room, Aaron was nowhere to be seen. Underneath her bed, she pulled out a little chest with a digital lock. After entering the authorization code, the chest opened, and she took out a sphere-shaped object. She then brought the ball with her over to the room door. That way she could hear if anyone was coming in, and she could quickly put it away again. Pressing the top of the ball caused it to light up, and she waited for a few moments as the light dimmed in and out. "Hello, Agent 84. Do you have another report to give?" a female voice said, coming from the communication ball. "Yes, ma'am. I wish to give you an update on the report I gave you earlier. It turns out what I believed would be good for our cause is not so good for us after all. I will send you the full details later." "That is a shame to hear," the female voice coming from the orb said. "I hope you do get to enjoy your time left at the school and continue with the original mission. Also, on another note, Mr. True Dream will be visiting the base soon. We are unsure of which candidates will be selected this time, but don't worry too much if you are selected." "Noted," Layla replied. "May Pure be with you," the woman said. "May Pure be with you," Layla replied in a way that made it sound forced. "Quinn, I hope I'm doing the right thing not just for my sake, but for everyone's," she thought to herself.
Hi, Quinn here. Wondering what happens next? If you want to jump the queue and unleash all episodes, click on the link here and install the Pocket FM app.